Okay, we once again have a lot of ground to cover as we are officially going to be covering more stuff up and well, we'll just go in the reverse order I stated. It's starting with what we ended on last time in the form of rugby. The 2 weeks are officially in the books. The next up we have our round three matchups. Uh, March 3rd, Dallas Jackals and Seattle Seawolves. Oh, March 4th for the Rugby Atlanta versus NOLA Gold. March 5th has Chicago Hounds versus Utah Warriors, New York Ironworkers versus Old Glory DC, and Houston Sabercats versus San Diego Legion. Those are the matchups we are looking at. And now we can move on to ice hockey in the AHL. We're going to be looking at who are currently the bottom two that are on the outside looking in. And right now for the Atlantic Division, Bruins are leading with 72 points, followed by the Hershey Bears at 71. On Charlotte Checkers at 65. I have Springfield Thunderbirds at 58. They do have tiebreaker due to having a better record over the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. Um, and Hartford has taken the sixth place spot with 55 points. But those playoff spots are still anybody's game right now. Bridgeport is just outside by a point at 54, and the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins with 52 points. So even if you sort this by win percentage, we would still have this exact order. Er, And Hartford is actually getting some trying to get some help on defense as they made a deal with the Rockford Ice Dog Ice Hogs, sorry. The Ice Hogs. Uh, Gone is gonna be the Jacksonville Iceman fan favorite Zach Jordan and Hartford in return is getting defenseman Adam Clendenny. What this means for the Iceman, favorite is gone. On He was under AHL contract. And what this means for their core is questionable. We'll get to them in a bit. But what this means for Hartford is that they're getting rid of a forward to gain a defenseman. It's unclear as of this video whether he will be playing for Hartford or Jacksonville. What is clear is they're trying to do everything they can to get their way into playoffs. But continuing on with the standings in the North Division, the Toronto Marlies have 75 points. Means they lead the division. Syracuse Crunch at 57. They have tiebreaker due to having a better record over the Utica Comets. The Rochester Americans have 56 points. The Laval Rockets 51. Cleveland Monsters 50. They're behind by a point. And Belleville Senators at 49 points. In the Central Division, the Texas Stars have 68 points. The Milwaukee Admirals have 65. Manitoba Moose 64. Rockford IceHawks 60. Iowa Wild 55. And we currently have a battle for the bomb right now as the Chicago Wolves are on the outside looking in with 49. They, they have tiebreaker due to some of the other stuff, due to the other methods over the Grand Rapids Griffins. They both have the same win percentage. Chicago Wolves have tiebreaker over them. And in the Pacific Division, Calgary Wranglers have 75. They lead. Coachella Valley Firebirds are leading, despite being an expansion team, in second place at 74. The Abbotsford Canucks 64. They have tiebreaker over the Eagles. However, Colorado has a better win percentage with .615. And so do the Ontario Reign. Colorado has tiebreaker over Ontario. Abbotsford has a different tiebreaker altogether, or as opposed to win percentage. So things are looking a little weird in the Pacific. Bakersfield Condors have 52 points. They got tiebreaker due to having a better win percentage. Tucson uh, has a .481 win percentage. There's the San Jose Barracuda has 47 points. And on the outside looking in right now are the Henderson Silver Knights with 43 points. And the San Diego Gulls being the worst in the league with 31 points. But Travis Howe, that's going to be a name for him. In the ECHL, oh, there are games set for tonight. Like, in fact, I think they're saying one of them is active at as of this video, the recording of it. But in the North, the winner or or between the Newfoundland Growlers and Maine Mariners won't make a dent. And because the Growlers have 75 points and are leading in the division in by 14 points. So that is not going to make a dent. The Mariners are at 61. They have tiebreaker over the Reading Royals. Most likely to go score or maybe head to head, depending on what we're looking at. The Worcester Railers are at 57 points. And yeah, so that's something to keep an eye on. The Adirondack Thunder only have 46 points. They play against the Orlando Solar Bears next on the docket. The Trois Riviere Lions are still suffering from the sophomore slump with 42 points. And the Norfolk Admirals have actually been improving, believe it or not. They're now up to 13 wins and 30 points total. They're still dead last in the division, but they are improving and could dethrone somebody to be the worst in the league at some point. In the South, the Icemen have taken first place, Ace, and are only 3 points ahead though. 70 points to lead the South. Out, but with Zach Jordan leaving, it's unclear how that's going to affect their play if that's going to cause them to collapse this late into the season. There's only about a month and a half left before the playoffs. So they got time to figure out what they need to do and how they're going to move on without Zach Jordan. And they do still have some big names on there. Parker Cahagan and is still under an AHL contract. He's playing well. Olaf Lindbaum, who's signed with the Rangers, playing well. Charles Williams, situational old goalie. He's doing good in the limited action. And if anyone is able to retake that crown, it could be the Florida Everblades at 67 points. Then again, it could also be the Stingrays with 65 points, who have tiebreaker, most likely due to win percentage at this point, over the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. But with how tight this division is, fifth place is only behind by 5 points, and that's the Atlanta Gladiators with 60 points. And the Solar Bears could possibly one up them as early as Thursday, with 59 points. And the Savannah Ghost Pirates, they are suffering from typical expansion woes. They're last in the division with 46 points. But with how tight the South is, it's possible they could try to make a name and enter the playoffs out of nowhere. In the Central Division, the Toledo Walleye have tiebreaker for over the Cincinnati Cyclones, both of which are at 72 points. Means in Cincinnati has the better win percentage, but there could be another tiebreaker in play due to this. The Indy Fuel are third in their division. They they ended up falling. They're down to 68 points. Means the Fort Wayne Comets are the closest one to taking over any of them with 56, with the Wheeling Nailers at 51, the Kalamazoo Wings at 46, and still dead last in the division are the Iowa Heartlanders at 38 points. They could become the new worst team in the league, with how much Norfolk is improving. And in the Mountain Division, the Idaho Steelheads are looking to be the best in the league with 85 points. Means nobody is close to taking their crown. The closest is Wichita Thunder. They're at 56 points. Means the Kansas City Mavericks just wrapped up a series with the Florida Everblades. And they're at 54 points. The Allen Americans at 53 points. Utah Grizzlies can still make a push at 49 points, which they have tiebreaker over the Rapid City Rush. And dead last is the Tulsa Oilers with 44 points. So it's still anyone's race for the other three spots. Idaho, for the time being, is looking like a lock. And now we get to move on to the main league itself, the NHL. In the Eastern Conference, since the Carolina Hurricanes lead the Metropolitan Division in with a total of 86 points. The New Jersey Devils aren't far behind at 83, and the New York Rangers are looking at third with 77 points. In the Atlantic Division, and we have a 99-point Boston team leading, looking to be the President's Trophy winner. Or followed by the Toronto Maple Leafs at 82 points. Tampa Bay starting to feel the effects at 78 points. And then the wild card race has changed. The New York Islanders at 70 points and the Pittsburgh Penguins with 69 points, nice, are currently the teams in the holding spots for the wild cards. But Buffalo could take one of those spots soon and make a name for themselves with only 66 points, which gives them a tiebreaker over the Florida Panthers, who are currently with a worse win percentage. The Ottawa Senators are starting to look good now. They have tiebreaker over the Detroit the Red Wings, both of which are at 64 points. Both have better records than the Washington Capitals, who are also at 64 points. Means And the main three who could well, there's two that could still possibly secure or that wild card spot. The Montreal Canadiens with 56 and the Philadelphia Flyers there's also with 56. However, it's unlikely at this point for the Columbus Blue Jackets to manage to do so. They are at 46 points and last in the league, not league, in the conference. Sorry. Western Conference. Since we have the Dallas Stars leading with 75 points, Minnesota Wild doing pretty well at 74 points. And then rounding out the top three in the Central Division, Colorado Avalanche at 73 points. The Pacific Division has the Vegas Golden Knights leading with 76 points. He's most likely due to win percentage. They have tiebreaker over the Los Angeles Kings, who also have 76 points. And the Seattle Kraken are still making noise with 72 points. In the wild card race, currently Edmonton and Winnipeg have 72 points. Edmonton with tiebreaker. There are still some teams that could try to claim these wild card spots. Calgary Flames could jump in with 67 points. Nashville, well, the Predators have 64 points. And then we get to the mesh pit that is of uncertainty. The St. Louis Blues have 57 points. Teams are looking iffy again. The Vancouver Canucks have 53 points, but the drama from firing Boudreaux still lingers. The Arizona Coyotes have 51 points. They're in an iffy spot in themselves with home stadiums. The San Jose Sharks have 48 points. The Chicago Blackhawks have 47 points. They just got rid of Patrick Kane, and they have tiebreaker over the Anaheim Ducks, who also have 47. Now, we do have some stuff related to the NFL as we transition over to the gridiron. And Commissioner Roger Goodell is in hot water over some accusations. Not just any kind of accusations, but cover up accusations. And it's been stated that he signed off on a $50 million loan that was disputed by minority owners, and he tried to cover it up because it was fraudulent jail time. There's also been reports coming out about why the turf, the field of the stadium during the Super Bowl was as it was. We're not getting into that mess, but this could hurt the league more or than what they were hoping because this is following other scandals that have come out. They became they are pretty much starting to get on track early in this month to be idiot of the month, which I'll explain more later on. But let's at least go to something else in terms of the XFL. Two successful weeks are in the books with some close scores and stuff. Week 3 is going to see the Seattle Sea Dragons visit the Vegas Vipers in a horrendous stadium March 4th at 7 p.m. Then the St. Louis Hawks at 1 p.m. Sunday are going up against the DC Defenders. Followed by 4 p.m. the Orlando Guardians visiting the Arlington Renegades. And closing out is another Battle of Texas where the San Antonio Brahmas visit not Arlington, the Houston Roughnecks at 8 p.m. that day. Now let's get over to the NBA basketball conference standings. In the East, the Milwaukee Bucks currently lead at 44 and 17. And they're a half game ahead of the Boston Celtics, who are 44 and 18. And 76ers are at 39 and 21. Cavaliers are 39-25. They're starting to prove that they can actually win without LeBron James on the team. The New York Knicks found their way into the top six with 36-27. Same with the Brooklyn Nets at 34-27. Currently looking at the play-in round are the Miami Heat at 33-29. The Atlanta Hawks at 500 flat. The Toronto Raptors at 31-32. And the Washington Wizards at 29-32. Right now on the outside looking in, you got the Chicago Bulls at 28-34. The Indiana Pacers at 28-35. The Orlando Magic at 26-36. The Charlotte Hornets at 20-43. And the Detroit Pistons on track to be involved in the top four lottery at 15-47. And in the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets currently lead at 44-19, with the Memphis Grizzlies at 37-23, and the Sacramento Kings at 36-25. They're proving to be a contender. They're not ready yet to compete for a championship, but they are making progress. Phoenix Suns at 33-29. And the Golden State Warriors trying to bounce back at 32-30. Los Angeles Clippers are currently getting ready to move to their own stadium soon are 33-31. Currently looking at the play-in spots. The Dallas Mavericks at 32-31. The Minnesota Timberwolves at 500 flat. The Utah Jazz at 31-32. And the New Orleans Pelicans at 30-32. Currently on the outside looking in are the Portland Trailblazers at 29-32. The Los Angeles Lakers will soon be by themselves at 29-33. The Oklahoma City Thunder at 28-33. And two teams that look like they're going to be in it for the top four lottery. San Antonio Spurs at 15-47. And the Houston Rockets at 13-48. Now head over to college basketball. We are almost there to knowing who's going to be in March Madness, as we have 6 more days worth of basketball before we start deciding on who gets in and who is out. Remember, the winners of their respective conferences are in the tournament, and that comes up, are automatically in March Madness with everyone else picked at random. We got 6 more days worth here before that is officially underway. Heading over to Major League Soccer, which is association football at this point. It's time to look at how teams are looking at this point in in the regular season based on these latest is rankings. The top 8 teams of the MLS have all gotten 3 points. Yeah, need I say more? Philadelphia has tiebreaker over everyone due to goals for. Chicago Fire has yet to play, and everyone else with no points, with Toronto having tiebreaker, or have lost a game. Western Conference, same story here. Seattle has tiebreaker out of all the top 5 teams with points. the Battle of Los Angeles got postponed for the time being, so they have not played a single game yet, and everyone else, with Austin with tiebreaker, played only one game and lost. Nothing new. And now we get to move on to the Premier League, the last league on our list is at this time. I finally managed to figure out the standings location for the website. At number one, set to be the best right now, is Arsenal, with 57 points. Then we have Manchester City with 55, Manchester United with 49, Tottenham Hotspur with 45. No surprises here. Newcastle United are at 41 points. And now we got a list here. Fulham at 39 points. Liverpool 36. Ryan and Hove Albion 35. Brentford 35. The former team has tiebreaker despite having dropped. And Liverpool went up. Chelsea has 31 points. They have tiebreaker over Aston Villa. Crystal Palace is at 27 points. Nottingham Forest 25. Leicester City 24. They have tiebreaker over the Wolverhampton Wanderers. West Ham United shot up in the rankings with 23 points. Leeds United also shot up with 22. And we got our bottom three. Everton went down in the rankings. They still have tiebreaker at 21 points over Bournemouth, who are also gone down in the rankings at 21 points. And Southampton, not doing themselves any favors, are at 18 points. And now it's time for me to talk about the idiot of the month. At this, when it's time for a month to start, or well, actually, I should say it this way: once a month, there is going to be a, me picking who wins this award just for committing an act of stupidity that is going into be pointless is at the end because as they were being a big crybaby instead of actually responding the way they should have. The idiot of the month for February 2023 last minute edition goes to Brett Favre for filing a defamation lawsuit against Pat McAfee and making stupid and having lawyers make stupid comments. It's about what was said. Like seriously, what are you thinking? I don't get why he chose to do it this way. I don't get it. It if it comes out that you were nothing more than an idiot that wants money and you just want to start a lawsuit for no reason, then that is what's going to get you this award. I don't make the rules. Rules you just have to commit an act of stupidity for no reason. And congratulations, Brett Favre. Your defamation lawsuit earned you the award for February 2023 Idiot of the Month. And for that reason alone, I hope you lose this court battle. Well, because of the evidence that was already there, and that it just felt edited down to better fit your justification. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And it's just that Brett Favre. Come on, dude. Stay quiet. Ask nicely and explain your side of the story and and they can get things straightened out without having to resort or to lawsuits and stuff. That could have saved you a lot of money, if I'm being honest here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode or video or whatever comes first.